right, today is July 4th, 2013. We're kind of doing a documentary on the Hanson Town Hall and the maintenance that has to take place at this building. In the May town meeting, we voted $60,000 to fix this building up. And I just bringing this before the attention of the public that there's a lot of work that has to be done. I really wasn't aware of this until this year at the Memorial Day Parade, when I had time to walk around this building and find out how bad it is. I know that at the May town meeting we allocated $60,000. That's very superficial. We go to town meeting, we got to tell the public what it's really going to cost to bring this building back. It was maintained in 1999 as an addition. I think it was around $1 or $2 million to do it. It was a vote of the public to get this done, and it's been neglected since then. Need a lot of work to this building, and that's the idea of doing this filming today. And we'll just go through this whole building. We'll start at the back and walk around, and we'll just illustrate in this filming of just the work that needs to be done. What you're looking at right now in the left-hand corner of the building, with the pond to my back, you're looking at deterioration from the window. Needs a real good rehab on the paint. The bushes that are growing against the building is not what it should be, because they should be cut away or just taken away, because they grab moisture and they are a hazard to the paint and everything. The state always recommends to cut these things away, keep them real small, or just do away with them. It's not a good aesthetically, it might look good in appearance, but it's not good for the health of the building. And you go over to the right side to the next window, and you can see the bushes actually obscure the view from inside out. So the maintenance, as far as the landscaping goes, is a lot to be desired. Now you go over to the right a little more, and there's a little square addition to the outside. You can see where the paint is deteriorated. The roof looks like it's decent, the shingles and that, but basically you need a good rehab as far as painting goes, or maybe they'd even consider wrapping that wood there and making it maintenance free. That would be a suggestion, probably by a contractor. Looking at the door, the exit door in the back there's no stoop, or whatever you want to say, which is a code violation. That may be just a room for storage, but even so, there should be some sort of a code. There should be at least one step there. And as we go up to the second floor, where you see all the air conditioning units on the rooftop, which most of the buildings have, they look like they are a little rusty, and maybe someone should come in and kind of maintain that. I don't know what the maintenance schedule is on this building, because that's not available to me today at this time. All right, and as you get up further in the second story and you get into the eaves of the second story, you'll see a lot of bees and nesting that's going on that have been building up there. That's a hazard to anybody that would probably be close enough to these nestings. These should be maintained also and probably washed away, instead of just forgotten and let all this nesting take place with the insects. We should get rid of those. That's another problem that should be addressed. Now we're getting on the other side of this back of this building. Again, the pond is to my back, and what you have here is no paint at all in the woods. It's bare wood. And as you drop down to the right-hand corner of this window here, you'll see where the rain has entered into the wood and has rotted it out and towards the windowsill. It's just deterioration, and this goes on. It's only going to get worse, and it's going to get more expensive to repair. As you drop down lower from that window, you can see the basic sill that supports the building, and you can see the rot going into that. And how far in does that go? Is it getting into the structure of the building, or is that just superficial? The only way to find that out is when an individual gets in here, a contractor, and starts working on this building. Again, allocated at May town meeting was $60,000, and that's going to be a lot more than that. It's going to be a stage process, and the point is, when we vote the $60,000 to maintain the Hanson Town Hall, the people should be told up front that this is going to cost more than $60,000, and gone untouched, it's just going to cost more and more. As you get down towards the lower part where the sill is all rotted out, you can see where the grass is overgrown around the utilities. That should be all cleaned up. And as you go along to the right of this building, you can see how all the grass is growing up along the sill. That should be all trimmed away. That retains moisture, and all that's do is going to it's going to get into the wood. It's going to moisture, and it's going to cause big maintenance problems. This is neglect from poor landscaping, poor management as far as the grounds go. It's very obvious. We're not being critical. These are things that aren't being done. As you start up to the first and second floor in the indent of the town hall, this would be the hallways, you can see the maintenance problem that's taken place again. It's again paint, the wind. It's no longer a thing of just painting this building. Some of this wood is going to have to be replaced. Again, this was done in 1999, and it's been just neglected. No one's thinking about the back of the building. And as you walk over towards the stairs to go down to the cellar, or the basement of the town hall, that's maintenance-wise also. I think this is a safety issue here. This should probably be a barrier or something that someone walking around here late at night or something, not that they belong here, but that's an accident waiting to happen. Someone can get hurt, and the town is liable. This is their property. And we can get over to the right side of the building about the stairwell. There's nothing to protect anybody from either falling down the stairwell or getting themselves hurt. So this should be addressed also. Again, you can see the paint on the structure. This is kind of protected to the weather, so these windows aren't as bad. The first and second floor, the wood is not as bad. It still needs painting. But if you look at the indentation of this building, and then go to your left and look at where it's to the weather, how much rot has taken place between paint peeling and just the rot, because moisture's gotten through, the paint's gone, and moisture is water and wood is no mix. It will always rot. It's the worst thing. Fresh water and wood is the worst thing you'll ever have combined. And that's where we are in this part of the building. Here is a good illustration of the back side. Again, pawn to my back, and you can see how the moisture has gotten into the windowsill, and it's a good craftsman can probably replace these sills rather than tear out the whole window. It's all the nesting that's taking place in the eaves of the town hall, and how would the maintenance department get at that? Probably with a pressure hose and to scrub that away. You don't need a hook and ladder from the fire department to get at this. You just need the right equipment. But this is something that also can get addressed. And then as you go to your right, you can still see what a menace this is with all the nests. The nests are all over the place. Wherever they can build a nest, they're building a nest. So that will take care of this part of the building. Here now is the window. I think this is probably in the one of the rooms inside, adjacent to the selectmen's room. It might be a meeting room, and you can see where the outside windows, the sills are really rotted. This is dry rot. If this was my boat, I'd be concerned about sinking, and that is not a joke. It's really deterioration of the wood. You can see it. As you go down, I can see a bigger problem, that is all the foliage that's been growing around this building. Again, this is a good example of how this should be trimmed away. It should, people might like to see green, but it doesn't up along against the building. It should be all trimmed away. To the right, of it is your air conditioning unit, and we'll get into that when we go further on down. You have trees growing around the fencing of the air conditioning. That should be all trimmed away. You should be able to walk right around this fencing area to maintain the equipment here. And it's getting to a point where the jungle is overtaking all the equipment. And that will take care of this part of the building. And of course, you go up to the second floor, you can see that, again, a maintenance problem along there as far as the windows go. We don't have to keep on talking about this because it's just the whole back of the town hall has to be addressed. I'm looking way over to the right-hand corner of the back of the building on the second floor, and I notice a screen ajar there, and that's how probably insects and bees and things can get into that room should they open up those windows. So that's again a maintenance problem. If you drop down to the first floor, the middle window and the right window, you can see the maintenance problem on the paint. And also when you go down just below that, you can see where the siding is buckling. This is part of the addition that we did way back, and it's just, again, I can't emphasize enough that this building has to be put in a maintenance program, and not once a year at town meeting. They have to address this whole thing, come before the people and explain to them that what this really is actually going to cost to bring this building back to where it belongs. Here are some bushes growing up along the fence in the area of all your air conditioners. There's also a well that is, I imagine, there to maybe take care of the lawns and that. It looks like a jet well just to draw water to possibly do the lawn maintenance. And that's out to the weather, but it's well protected, I guess. My concern here again would be all the greeny vines and bushes that are growing up around the air conditioning units. Also to the right, with all the electrical components for the town, there's one box. It looks like a circuit breaker. It should have a cover on it. The cover's not there. That should be addressed. If you pull back from this gate a little bit, and you can see where this gate doesn't really open, so I don't know who really gets into it unless they lift it up. But again, a maintenance to access this, someone hasn't been in here in a while. Over to your right, and you can start up in the first window, and you can see again the maintenance of the paint. And you just go. We've already illustrated the siding that's kind of pulling away from the building. Again, the maintenance to the doorway, the archway of this building here is this is a lower lobby into the selectmen's room, and you'll see a maintenance problem there. And again, you have some nice patio bricks on the floor here, or outside decking, and that's all overgrown with weeds, and that is not maintained. Again, we had a beautiful building here built, and the maintenance has kind of gone awry. First window in a selectman's room, you can see just how bad that is. If you want to get in the center of that and get a close-up of how much rot is into that building. Again, this is constant maintenance. Again, a good craftsman may be able to come in and rip these sills out without having to go into replacement windows. You get a decent woodworker that knows what he's doing, and wants to take the time, you can bring this building back. Again, over to the right, how the vines are growing up against the building. Might look pretty to some people, but it should be removed. It's moisture into a building. It's not good for a healthy building. And to my right is another air conditioning unit, and this is all overgrown inside, and that's the worst thing you want for the air conditioning units, because if you come over here and get a side view, you can see the vines growing up along the air conditioning unit right here to my right. Is right in here. Can you see that right in here in the front? And it basically, someone has to come in here and trim all this green briars and weeds and bushes away. The outside fencing, it looks like that is either going to be torn down or someone's going to have to get some oil and paint to it because it's pretty much dry rotted.